Oh, big dog. It's a yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
My
sir.
G, my G.
Yeah,
How you
dog. It's
doing,
been
my
quite
G?
a while. I'm easy, dog.
Yeah,
I'm easy. It's been quite a while.
it's been ages, Fate. It's been ages. You're Fate. I like you know how life is, Fate. We have to do what we have to do, right? Like, but at least now we have some free time to start recording
Yeah,
or
to get.
putting out a few episodes, but yeah, we kind of back as well because we're adults now. We have responsibilities. We have jobs, and we would love to like record every week and produce content for you guys. But yeah, life is life, man. But we're here now. How you doing,
Yeah,
Fit?
life is life. I like to second that, my dog Gabo. We've been talking with me and the legendary didn't fight or anything like that, guys. We still good. He's still my nigga for life. Nothing like that. Just life got in the way. But we're back. We're gonna try to bring you some content, maybe twice a month. But the consistency
Yeah.
thing we've been losing, and we must be honest about that. But yeah, we back right now, my G. We back right now. Hey, big dog, you must be so happy, ne?
Ah, life is good for me. In the Premier League. For except every competition for me. Fit, I'm a happy man, dog. Like I don't give a damn what they say on the internet, but Fit, I'm so happy, Fit. My team is finally performing to the standards that we expect them to perform. Um, so yeah, and I'm happy for it. Everything's going well so far. Even we're getting the luck of the draws as well, especially in the FA Cup and the Carling Cup and the Champions League. But obviously in the Champions League we kind of deserve it because we ended up in the top spot. But again, like for our journey to be that easy on our side of the bracket, yeah, it's good for us, and we should be making at least a semi-final. But again, like we take it one game at a time. For him, as Kubu would
Yeah,
say, the job's not done, dog.
I was gonna say, you say that you finished first in the Champions League, but Liverpool last season they drew PSG, so it's the luck of the draw. But the luck of the draw. But
Yeah, faith.
even me, my dog, I'm sitting in a place that at the start of the season I didn't imagine United to be under that terrorist of a manager. I'm not going to even mention his name, pure terrorist. But yeah, I'm very
What
happy.
what what did I say, Posayam? What did I say to you about United at the start of
Oh,
the
you.
season?
I'll say it. I'll say it. Ne? You said this. Amorim will be out by December. Interim will take over, and you guys will be good. You said that.
And what did I say? Yeah, like the thing is, your defense might not be good, but your strikers, your signings will carry you guys through clear top four race. Yeah, but because look now, Umbuem is performing. Um, Cunha is performing. Even Usesko is scoring goals off the bench, which is good for him because we all know he didn't have the best of starts to the season. But I'm happy for the kid, fit because I'm a big fan of him. Yeah, but so at least the United fit to they might even overtake City. As hey, we don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, my G. But I think the right place to start, ne, our chat is the Champions League. Obviously, your team is through. The outgoing champions, Liverpool, are through. Madrid are through. Barcelona are through. PSG is through. Bayern is through, and Sporting and Lisbon is through. So yeah,
Atleti
and
as well.
and Atletico Madrid is through as well. Atletico Madrid is through as well, ne? So yeah, Maji. So you playing Sporting Lisbon, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
First leg
and
away
then
at their stadium.
at
Sorry,
their stadium.
I'm so happy that ending up first in the league phase allows you to play the second leg at home. Fit, such a good advantage to have because imagine, let's say we do beat what's this Sporting in the quarterfinals, and then we go to the semifinals. We play home the first leg, and then maybe second leg we have to go to Camp Nou or at the Atletico Madrid Stadium. Yeah, but so at least if we to like first leg we can like see if we can grind out a result, get maybe a scrappy 1-0 win or even 2-1, then come back to the carpet, yeah, and perform and do what we do best at the carpet. Yeah, well, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the performance. Even our defense is good. Like our defense is very good in the Champions League, as it has been in the whole season as well. Like, well, our players are actually performing. Our attacking players are performing in the Champions League. They actually perform better in the Champions League than the league, the Premier League. Yeah, well, your likes of Martinelli, your Ezes, your Gokeres, yeah, well, they're all scoring goals.
Can I just say something there? Eze scored the
Away.
second best goal. Eze scored the second best goal at the Emirates after Dogu. But okay, that's what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to say.
Ah,
But but
sugar, sugar.
but big dog. Speaking on legs, Yabo. I'm just gonna run through the
Yeah,
games. In the quarterfinal, it's Madrid and versus Bayern at the Bernabeu first leg. Sporting versus you guys at Sporting Stadium. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid. That's gonna be at the Camp Nou, and then PSG versus Liverpool at the Parc des Princes. So that's the how it's gonna go, my G. That's how it's gonna go. But
yeah.
yeah,
Quick,
we won't do
quick question,
predictions
Fit,
now.
about the
Yeah.
quick question about the Champions League, Fit. Okay, I know you guys are not in the Champions League and stuff, but what's the one game in the last 16? Can you say that you enjoy very much? And also, what are your thoughts on the Barca versus Newcastle game, or
Okay.
the two? Yeah, actually, the second leg.
For me, the game the tie. Let me say the tie I enjoyed the most was PSG versus Chelsea. I've got like an enjoyment for Luis Enrique. Yeah, boy. So I enjoyed that one, home and away. I was very very happy with how Chelsea got a hiding home and away. So I enjoyed that one as well. But I also enjoyed just watching Arsenal dominant performance at the Emirates as well. Great goal from Eze there too. I watched Liverpool as well, tearing it apart against Galatasaray. But so there's been enjoyable games. It's been very, very enjoyable games. It's been very enjoyable
But
games, my G.
I honestly fair to before we can move on. Yeah, well, I honestly think fair to that Newcastle could have got something from Barca last night, Fit,
Oh yeah.
because
Okay, wait. Yeah, yeah. My bad, dog. You also asked me about Newcastle. Yeah,
yeah,
I think Newcastle in the first leg, just going the first leg, that they let us slip in the first leg because they played a very, very, very good game, yeah, boy. But I think
mm,
the second leg, I'll say the better team won there, but Newcastle had chances, but like I think the occasion after I think after the third goal in the first half, the penalty, I think
yeah,
then their heads went completely down, and then Barca do what they do best, score goals, bro. But they had a chance, bro. They really
yeah,
had a chance. They
yeah.
really had a chance.
Newcastle had the chances fair to because one thing I noticed about last night's game, yeah, between Newcastle and Barca was that Barca was struggling with the pace that Newcastle players had, your Elangas, your Bonds, Gordon, and also the physicality that Tonali and Jolinton had in the center, in the midfield areas. They just went about the second half the wrong way, Yamashita. They were just way too open. I think they got way too greedy because the score I think was 3-2 into the first half. Yeah, so they could have just come back in the second half, kept it tight, and just did the same thing as they did in the first half, where you have your two wingers bombing forward, putting balls in for Gordon, or playing those balls into space for Gordon to run into, because the defense was like suffering from that. They couldn't cope with the pace. They even changed Eric Garcia out in the first half. I don't know if it was
Yeah.
tactical reasons or he was injured. But like I actually enjoyed the first half of that game. When I saw it was 4-2, I just switched it off. I was like, Newcastle.
Yo, and like in the Champions League, what I've realized, if you don't take your chances, if you don't take your moments as well, you will be
Mm,
punished, bro. There's no chances there. If you look at like Sporting Lisbon, the deficit that they slashed against Bodo
yeah.
Glimt, like there's no time to play around in Champions League, eh? So you must make sure, bro. You
Mm,
must make sure. But yeah, big dog. Let's move on to our bread and butter, which is the Premier League. Now, what brings me and you together? Other than life, yeah, bro. But
yeah.
I'm just gonna run through the league table. Obviously, I'm gonna run from first to seventh, and then go to the bottom. Ne? So
Yeah.
it's you guys first, 70 points. Man City second, 61 points with a game in hand. United are third, 64 points. Aston Villa are fourth. Liverpool is fifth with 49 points. New Chelsea is sixth, 48 points, and Brentford is seventh with 45 points. And then we're gonna go to the bottom. Yeah, Wolves is relegated. uh, Burnley are relegated. Yeah, West Ham have 28 points. Nottingham Forest have 29 points. Tottenham have 30 points, and Leeds has 32 points. Yeah, boy. So I'm gonna touch on Leeds there as well. But yeah, big dog, title race or title talk. Let me just say this, ne, me personally, ne, as a football fan. Let me say Man United fan first, football fan as well. Yeah, no, I must say I'm preparing myself now for May, right? For when Arsenal fans go crazy, for when Arsenal fans like go super insane, yeah, bro. For
Yeah.
yeah, 23 years, ne? 23 years? Am I correct? Say so? 23 years?
20,
First
20,
title?
22.
22
22.
years, yeah. First title in 22 years. Yeah, I'm preparing myself now for May mentally, Maybe I'm logging off Twitter for like a week. Yeah, bro. Um, yeah, and I'm just gonna see pictures now, and Arsenal fans like, yeah, going crazy. So I personally, I feel like the league is wrapped. Firstly, because one, we must be honest and say that Arsenal have been the best team from the very start, up until now, and probably until the finish. And number two, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna come closer, gents. You can't have hope in Man City now. Man City are not consistent enough. This Man City team is not consistent enough, yeah, bro. So that's why I'm saying this title is gonna go to the worthy champions, which is Arsenal, and yeah, because Man City didn't even put up a proper fight, yeah, bro. But yeah,
Yeah.
Maji, I think it's done for me personally. But let me say, how have you been feeling? Let's say from December until now, basically, yeah, bro.
Um, yeah, I feel that December, January, Feb, like early Feb period was very scary hours, but like it was, hey, like you could hear Man City coming from behind, but yeah, they're starting to gain momentum. Yeah, boy, Tina, we were losing momentum. We might not be losing the games, but then we're allowing teams back into the game, which now like caused us to throw so many of those games. Yeah, boy, like for example, Wolves were leading 2-0. How can you let a team that's already in the underground, yeah, boy, come back to throw 2-2, yeah, bro. Because I feel like that's a game that you should have been controlling easily. We're leading 2-0, we just be professional, we control the game. That's all we have to do. But now we made way too many stupid mistakes. Our midfield has been very tired, I think. I think our team actually has been very, very tired. Especially like also be mainly players that are not used to playing 50 games in the season, 50 to 60 games in the season, or Eze as well. He's not used to playing those amount of games, high pressure level games. Yabo. They're not used to those type of games. Yabo. And I think we just lost concentration, and I think mentally we were tired as well. Physically and mentally, we were very tired, fit. And we should be beating those teams because if Wolves, I expect Arsenal to beat Wolves any day, whether away or home. Brentford was a very tough game. You know how Brentford are under the lights at their own stadium. Um, that game we drew. But yeah, like I think at Brentford I would have taken a point. Yeah, I understand. But in that Wolves game, I won't lie. The way I was feeling after the Wolves game, I was sick. Bro. I was very sick. When I remember I was watching, I went to a bar. I was watching United versus Arsenal at the carpet. Yo, fair too. We lost that game. Fair to the way we were conceding those goals, man. Like I don't know, from December, January, and Feb, we've been conceding way too many goals. Goals that we normally, or like normally, Arsenal are shutting teams out. You barely see teams create chances against us, but fair to the way we were playing that period, and I remember we lost against United. I deleted Twitter, but I never deleted tweet. I wasn't on Twitter for a whole week until the next game week. That's only the time that I downloaded Twitter again. Yeah, well. So yeah, bro, like you say, at least you can like only lost 3 games. Yeah, well. The other games we might have drawn, but then we're not losing those games. At least it's a point gained. Sometimes, yeah, you can look at the thing as 2 points lost. But if Man City as well, they're not really winning their games, then that means we're gaining those points. We're gaining a
Yeah,
point the whole time. Yeah, well, because they also like they've been very like open as well. But yeah, we're still at the top, 9 point gap. Man City has a game in hand. Yeah, I don't blame the Arsenal fans for being excited. I won't lie, I'm excited as well. But Kobe will say the job's not done, fit. Until
yeah,
we get through that Man City game and the gap is still 9 points. That's when 9 or 6 points. That's when I'll feel, but yeah, okay, so we can move, you know. Yeah,
yeah.
well,
Now I'm gonna just speak on Arsenal again, yeah, but I think this season a lot of players have grown up, yeah, but and I'm just looking at your stats,
yeah,
the I guess the just the the ones that you look at, basically not and but they tell you they don't
yeah,
tell you the full story, but they tell you a story, yeah, but we posted a
mm,
clip at just yesterday on our TikTok account where you said this league will be won on defense, ne? And Arsenal had the best defense because you only conceded
yeah,
22 goals this season. But also, people like to say that Arsenal, um, they're not like attacking wise, they're not as good as maybe the other teams. Yeah, well, even maybe United now. Yeah, well, because like there's a lot of that type of chatter. But
mm,
Arsenal, to be fair on Arsenal, you scored the most goals. And you know what I want to say as well, bruh? I know Jokeres has had a tough time maybe in certain periods of this season, yeah, but he has come up with big
mm,
goals, yeah, big goals. Another one
yeah,
would be against Everton as well, yeah, which that one I looked at the time because I wanted to tune in at like the 75th minute just to see, like, say what's maybe gonna go on. But you scored before that, yeah, bro. So you scored
yeah,
before that. So for me, bro, I feel like yeah, nah, it's your time now to win the league. I mean, bro, you have been having heartbreak, Arsenal fans know, and I think that's what now. This is the last stretch now, and I must commend Mikel Arteta as well because he's been the same from the start of the season, middle of the season when points were being dropped. He always had faith in his squad and his team, whoever he puts in there. And he's been saying that he's happy with his squad, no matter maybe if we say that Martinelli is this or Trossard is this, but you'll never hear Arteta maybe even having a doubt with these players, about even the Mosqueras that come in.
yeah,
So yeah, Mosqueras and the No Guards and Max Dauman, Eze as well. I know Eze's had maybe a tough season, we can say, but even Mikel Arteta's
mm,
like he kind of expected this, but he knows his quality, and he's coming up big with Eze
yeah,
in the Premier League. Sorry, in also in the Champions League, let me say rather. So I think, yeah, the title is going to the best team, man. Yeah, boy. And for me, I feel like not, even if City's got a point, even if City have a game in hand now, like it's not promised for them because they are inconsistent, yeah, boy. And I want to come to City now, big
mm,
dog, and say, I did, I said for me, you said Arsenal would win the league this season. I said Liverpool would win the league this season. I said City are going to come second, but I also said I'm not too sure about the City team, Nebo, because the signing that they make,
yeah,
they're not like it doesn't see it's not like City like basically. It's like these players, they're good players, but they're not good players who can be developed by Pep to be exceptional players, Yabo. I'm gonna mention
yeah,
Ait Nouri. I'm gonna mention Ryan Cherky, Tijani Reindeers, for example. Yeah, bro. I feel like nah, man,
yeah,
that's not City quality. Yeah, bro. As a rival fan, I feel like that's not City quality. I know Cherky, people speak very well about him, but I just feel like he's like a Dimitri Payet, to be honest. But he's not even better than Dimitri Payet for me
yeah,
personally. Yeah, bro. But Donnarumma, Gay, Semenyo, those are good signings, and they'll probably be good for the future as well. But I wasn't at the recruitment as well. And I'm not gonna say too much on Pep Guardiola because you can have dips, yeah, bro. But for him, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
mentally now he's becoming a bit tired as well. But what do you think, Maji?
With City, fair to like, I think they lost big players that they had. When I was saying big players, players that normally stepped up at this period of time, like in this period of the season. Yeah, but when it's the title run in now, the last 10 games of the season, yeah, look, the Gundogan's, um, who's this Kevin De Bruyne, they gone. They like the backbone of the team. You remember? I think it was 2 seasons ago when they won the league. I think they won the league on the last day against Aston Villa. Ne?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were challenging them. And De Bruyne came back from injury. The guy started banging goals. Gundogan was scoring vital goals, was scoring almost every game week, the last 10 games of the season. And those are big players and big characters in the dressing room that Man City had. Yeah, so now,
So
looking at that team, Man City doesn't, yeah,
yeah, also want to add, there's a lot of players that have been inconsistent at Man City, like who have come for big money. Marmoush being one, and also Phil Foden's form has been terrible as well. Yeah, well, he's also won them the league as well. Yeah,
I was actually
yeah.
getting there.
You can go, my dog. You can go, my dog.
Yeah, well, so those are big players, big characters in the dressing room. Um, Ruben Diaz has been in and out of the team as well. He has been there for like I think the past 4 or 5 seasons. Very important member of the squad. Now he's been very inconsistent, always injured. When he comes back, he is not really like pulling the team together. For some reason, like I always think, like as much as I hate the type of character he is, Bruno, I mean not Bruno, sorry, Bernardo Silva. Like I feel like sometimes I feel like he's playing alone in that team for Bernardo Silva. I feel like yeah, okay, yeah, so we have now Semenyo who's come in, who scored some goals. He's been on good form ever since he's joined City. Mark Gay as well, he's coming. But besides those two, I feel like sometimes I feel like, especially in the midfield, both Mandich, I feel like Bernardo Silva is playing alone. Uroda is not the same. We can
True.
say what? Yeah, Uroda has been very good in the past seasons, but we all can see that the Achilles injury that he had, it's affecting his gameplay. Yeah, boy. And it's not his okay, he was never a quick player, but he could get around the field, yeah, boy. He could like shut down attacks, yeah, boy. But it's not the same player. Yeah, boy. And I think Bernardo Silva is also tired because Mchita is playing literally everywhere for Man City. Sometimes he's dropping deep between the two defenders to collect the ball. Then you'll find him on the wing. Then you'll find him in the striker position. You'll find him in the number 10 position. So Mchita is all over. Yeah, he's been a good captain for Man City, but this season, I feel like Mchita now is tired. Even he comes out in the press, like he doesn't know if he's gonna stay. He doesn't know whether he's gonna go. Yeah, well. So yeah, I feel to like even Foden as well. Foden has been very disappointing this season. Um, he's some a friend of ours on Twitter is saying that Foden is better than what Wayne Rooney was, and we both know who's that friend of ours. But Tunchita, nah, fair to like, does it deserve to be in the England squad for the World Cup? In my
Yeah.
eyes, no, he doesn't deserve. But get like he will be picked. We know, but I don't think he should be. Okay, he can be picked, but I don't think he should be starting. The goals has dried up from Haaland. Yeah, bro. So yeah, this Man City team is not the Pep Man City team that we know. Yeah, but even the recruitment, as you said, it's not the same. I didn't think like you would recruit a player like Ushaki, Pep, because those are the type of players that belong in teams like Newcastle, West Ham, even at Arsenal in the Wenger era. About those type of players like your Nasris, those type of players that you don't really like coach, and tell them okay where to be. You just let them play. Yeah, well, he's that type of player. I didn't think you Man City would sign him, but okay, like maybe he'll become better next season as he gets used to the environment as well. So yeah, I feel to like Man City. Personally, I'm happy they're not the Man City of 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Same.
Um, and I wanted us to win this league with Pep still in the league. Yeah, bro. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, dog. But Man City this season have been very disappointing, bro.
Yeah. Just the last question, yes or no? Do you think Pep Guardiola stays for next season?
I think it stays one more season. Knowing Pep Guardiola, I think you would want to live on good terms because he knows that of the past 2 seasons, including this season, he hasn't been top level. Man City hasn't been top level. They haven't won that many trophies in the past 2 seasons. They can still win maybe the FA Cup, the Calling Cup, yeah, bro. I think you'd want to go one more time to try and go out to the bank and win the league title, and then step down and let someone else takes over. So yeah, nah, Fate. I don't think this is the last season.
Yeah, I think
Do you think it's last season?
Nah, I think it's got one more because even his contract ends in next
Mm.
season. So I think it's got one more. He keeps also saying that we'll go again next season. So he hasn't come out to maybe like leave like maybe a clue saying I'm gonna leave. It's more we'll go again next season and we will be back next
Mm.
season. So I think he's got one more, my G. But this is for me now the segment we're gonna move in, or the part we're gonna move in is the one I'm gonna enjoy the most, Jabo. It's the best of the rest in the Champions League places. Obviously, we think
Yeah.
Villa are fourth, Liverpool are fifth, and Chelsea are sixth with Brentford seventh, Jabo. But
Mm.
I also, bro, I was this season. I wish so much that it was only two teams qualifying for the Champions League. The other two, two other teams. You know, that's what I wish this year, like now. Um, but yeah, dog. Me personally, I'm not gonna say we are in the Champions League just yet, but we're cruising nicely. We're cruising nicely. We're cruising nicely. But let me ask you
Mm.
before we talk about this, ne? Who do you think will join City and Arsenal in the Champions League? Just the names, and then we'll talk about it.
United, Liverpool.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. I agree with
United, Liverpool.
I agree with you as well, my dog. I think just we're gonna have like a roundabout conversation with this, ne? I think this theme of the three
Mm.
to six, ne? I feel like consistency is a problem with like these teams. Yeah, well, I know we lost against
Yeah.
Newcastle, but away from home or in some games we don't win those games. Yeah, well, but we drew against West Ham,
Yeah.
we lost against Newcastle. So our away form is scary for me. It worries me a bit. Yeah, well, our away form a lot because we don't only play at home. So that's my big worry. Liverpool this season.
Yeah.
Liverpool are drawing against Tottenham, bruh. They're drawing against Wolves and Burnley at home. Aston Villa are falling off a cliff, bruh. Like we've since Carrick has come in, we've 11-point gap. We've slashed that, so I feel like they're very inconsistent. Chelsea, yo, bruh, Chelsea.
Unai Emery. Unai Emery.
Unai Emery, big dog. Chelsea are also very, very inconsistent for the amount of attacking quality that they have. Like with Chelsea, ne? With Chelsea, you just know they're gonna concede a goal, bro. You just know Chelsea game, no matter who they play,
Mm.
they're going to concede a goal. So like, I just feel like every team there is very, very inconsistent, my dog. But let me ask you this, dog, ne? Uh,
Yeah.
obviously, me personally, I didn't have hope that Amorim was gonna get sacked, but I think I knew he would get sacked. But I thought it would probably be when it's too late, yeah, bro. But you said, nah, you will get sacked, and someone will come
Mm.
in and get you guys where you want to be in Europe, I guess, ne? But Michael Carrick, big dog, ne? For you, would you keep him as a permanent manager if you qualify for Champions League, and even maybe even now, if you in the like now, if just seeing what he's doing now, would you keep maybe seeing these names that are linked to us, but would you have him in that hat maybe in the top three or in serious contention, throwing his name in the hat, saying this is the guy that must be the manager?
Um, to be honest, fair to ne, as a football person, when it comes to that Carrick and United situation, if United want to be a serious club, or for United to go back to what they were like years ago, fair to, they wouldn't like buy the story of Carrick leading you guys to Champions League. So Mchita will lead you guys to Champions League. Otherwise, thank you, Carrick. We appreciate the effort. But now it's time to get someone who's serious about someone who's gonna like hit the ground running, boom boom. Yeah, bo. Because I don't think you guys should go for a project type of manager, yeah, bo. Um, you should go for like a big name manager, someone who's going to demand respect in the changing room. Because I feel like with Carrick, it's the same situation where you guys had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Mchida, yeah, he was performing very well in the league. You guys gave him a chance. Second season or third season, I remember. How many seasons was it?
Basically, 2.5. I won't count the third one. 2.5. Yeah.
Two and a half. But yeah, both like I don't think you guys should fall for the Lawe feed. Don't fall for that. Like, okay, yeah, you can let him stay as maybe part of the coaching staff. Learn from that manager, yeah, but and then can give him the permanent job once the manager leaves, because now he would have enough experience from to learn from the big name manager. Like, and I'm not saying go for any big name. Like, I would say like your Luis Enrique's, your even who's this guy, Roberto Mancini, like those type of names, yeah, bro. Or Klopp, like, oh, I'm not saying Klopp will go, but I need you guys need someone who's gonna like demand respect in the changing room, challenge from day one in the league. Because I feel like with Carrick, if he gets to buy his players, I don't. I see him being fired fair to like in the second season or in his first full season, if I can call it that. Yeah, bro. So not personally, like as a football person, as an Arsenal fan, I say yeah, hire him because I know what's gonna happen in his first full season. But if you guys are serious, you're gonna tell him, okay, now fair to thanks for getting us the Champions League spot. Now let's use the Champions League money for a manager who knows what he's doing,
Yeah.
for managers will make us compete from day one. Let's use that Champions League money and support that manager with his own players. Yeah, bro. So that's my opinion, Fit. But otherwise, I would like Carrick is doing well, Fit. He's lost how many games? One game, ne?
One. Yeah.
Yeah, he's lost one game. The guy is he might even like if City continue to be inconsistent, um, you guys might catch them because you guys also have a game in hand. I'm looking at your last 5 games here. You guys have won three. City also has won three, but you guys lost one. City's drawn two. Yeah, but City's next game is against Chelsea. Yeah, but so yeah, Carrick is doing well fit. I won't lie, he's doing very, very well fit. But next season, I think nah, he shouldn't be there.
Yeah. I feel Nef, personally. For me, I think my opinion is that we should get a manager who's very very good top and who's won as well. First for me would be Luis Enrique. Number two might shock you, but it will be Thomas Tuchel, because I feel like Tuchel he knows big clubs, yeah, but he knows big clubs. He knows Bayern, Chelsea, England as well. That setup, I feel like it hit the ground running. So I want a manager with a bit of stature. But if you can't get those two, yeah, boy, not saying settle for him because he must still prove it. But I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against it because I mean, what can you tell a manager that's come in maybe when he came in and performed at his level, met the metrics maybe that you wanted and more, and tell him then, yeah, we like we're not gonna hire you if we can't find our next pick. So I wouldn't be against him staying, yeah, well, because he's improved a lot of players. Sesko, Mainu's back. Yeah, as I was saying, big dog, like I wouldn't be against him staying as well, just based on what I've seen, because the squad as a whole has performed better. But like you said, it's next season or a season where there's more games, more to play for, like let's say Europe and other cups. It might be tough for him as well, as we've seen with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I'm glad I'm not making the decision whether he must stay or not stay. Those guys will make the decision,
Yeah,
but I hope it's the right one. I really hope it's the right one. But let's go to
I
Liverpool, my
I,
dog.
I think
Yeah,
listen now, just quickly. I think you guys should just test the waters by Spain and go get Diego Simeone. Would you take him at United? I think you guys need that. You need a Diego Simeone fit. Honestly,
I don't.
you guys need that. You guys need that guy fit just to show up, like make you guys a solid team once again. Yeah, bro.
Nah, big dog, nah. You see, you know what? I'm quite traumatized, né? By I kept on asking, I kept on asking, like, does a manager that plays like this make sense for Man United when the other guy was there? Like it just doesn't make sense, man. That we don't have to get a manager that wants to play like attacking football or doesn't just want to play like a winning brand of football. Well, a good brand of football, let me say. So for me, né, and Man United, I would say no, 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 no. Just get someone who ticks all the boxes. I guess he ticks a few of those boxes, but let's get someone who ticks all the boxes first. Debo Simeone, I think Simeone should go to the Serie A if they can afford him personally. But I don't think so. But yeah, I don't think so. But the outgoing champions, Liverpool, um, I think they will make Champions League, né? But I don't know, man. This is the question I've always had about Liverpool. Né? It's the midfield pairing. I'll speak about that. The midfield pairing and Gravenberch at the sixth row. I have always had reservations about Gravenberch playing six. I know he was in the Premier League team of the season last season in that role, playing number six, won the league in that role. But I feel like Liverpool are very, very soft, man. And it obviously starts in defense, but their midfield is a mess, bruh. Like I just feel like there's something quite wrong this season with their midfield. Obviously, Mo Salah's form has dropped now as well, and Florian Wirtz has been underperforming. Dare I say a flop as well? But I don't know, man. I'm just not impressed by Liverpool. No matter like the signing that they signed this season, I just feel like they're a very unbalanced team, and like their midfield too doesn't help their defense at all. But maybe do you share those same sentiments as I do, my dog?
Yeah, I do, fit. I actually do, bro, because I feel like Liverpool, I think Klopp is still, not to Klopp, man, Slot, he's still trying to fit all in those players in the team. Yeah, but like, Frimpong, they signed him as a right back. But you find that Soboslai is the one that's playing right back. Frimpong is playing right wing. Yeah, but that does make sense. And for someone who's as creative as Unansi Soboslai to play in a right back position, yeah, I know the positions it takes up. Well, when Liverpool is in pole position, you find yourself inverted and playing the midfield, but it's not the same fit because now you're losing the creativity up front in final third. Yeah, I know he scores free kicks almost every game week, but Uverts is not doing the job of a creative midfielder. Now, yes, sometimes he's been tossed to the left wing, center, right wing, because he's not really delivering. So they're trying to fit him into these um, into these holes that he doesn't fit in. He's been a flop this season, very disappointing. Um, we know Salah has been disappointing as well this season, so he hasn't been scoring. The only person who can say has been stepping or has at least tried, I think, go Eketike. He's been okay. He's been decent this season, even a Soboslai. But I think their best player
Yeah,
this season has been Soboslai. He's been their best
yeah,
player this season. Um, so and that midfield, bruh, like Gravenberg is not a six. Even at Ajax, he wasn't playing as a six. He was playing as an eight or box to box.
yeah,
I still think they need to go find and buy a number six, a proper number six who can play, who can also um, we can also stop attacks, and then release McAllister. McAllister shouldn't be at the deepest midfield in the Liverpool team. He should also be like up there in the final third, like creating chances for the forwards. Um, so yeah, fit that whole team, Jay, Balansayo is I quite right. Fit even Ukekes is a left back. He was a good left back at Bournemouth. But now at Liverpool, I don't know, it's almost like he's exposed. Whereas it should be the other way around, where at Bournemouth he should be exposed, but at Liverpool he should be at least better because now Liverpool, most of the teams they play against, they'll have the ball more than the other team, So now Ukeke is not good defensively. Um, so yeah, that midfield, yeah, Liverpool is a big problem. They need to address it next season, fit. And some big players will be have to let go of it or eat bench. They have to make tough decisions, bruh, because you can't play with such an
yeah,
imbalanced team. Because imagine next season Isak is gonna come back, and then what? You have Kapo playing strikers. Kapo is not a number nine. Like, where are these players gonna play? Fit. Some of them will have to sit bench, make tough decisions, and make Liverpool challenge again for the title.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think the good thing about Liverpool is that their hierarchy, their sporting director and Michael Edwards, they're always planning ahead, yeah, bro. So I feel like this season
Mm.
they'll charge you to the game, yeah, bro. Say that now they'll hold their hand up first, say we've made some mistakes here with the recruitment, but yeah, well, the Champions League, if we qualify for Champions League, that's a bonus for us. And let's go again, try to get some players, maybe like a Adam Wharton or some players like that, and try to go again, yeah, bro.
Mm.
Because for me as well, like I mentioned, the midfield is very very unbalanced, yeah, bro. Which also as bad as Van Dijk and Konate have been this season, I feel like they've also been exposed by having no protection as well. Um, but I want to touch on your favorite manager, Yabo, Unai Emery and Aston Villa, my dog, Yabo. But I want to say with Aston Villa, yeah, them Aston Villa were cruising were doing so well rather. They were even put into title race conversations. But the minute that Tillemans went down, I feel like Yuri Tillemans is Unai Emery's favorite player, and Kamara as well.
Mm.
I know there's Morgan Rogers
Mm.
as well, but I feel like those are his two favorite players because they do things so well. I feel like the minute that they lost those two players, that's when the ship basically was sinking. Yeah, bro. And obviously now Morgan Rogers, I think someone said that if you don't give him space, ne, and make him basically play in the position that he doesn't want to play in, like, oh, just move him to the place that doesn't want to
Mm.
move in, he's completely cut out of the games. And I've seen that over and over and
Yeah.
over, like from January onwards, yeah, bro. And I feel like for them, they're only gonna go down now. I think they'll still make Europe, but it's like what's this, Europa League base. I think that's where they will land up. But yeah, man, it's sad to see them because at now just going down and down and being the inevitable, seeing the inevitable because they were doing so well, bruh. But yeah, you will say this is the Unai ne?
Yeah, I feel it like every season, dog. Like December time, November, December time, they'll start making comparisons between Unai Emery and Mikel Arteta, and you say, they should have gave Unai but more time at Arsenal. They should have gave him money and supported his ideas, yeah, and then come March, April, things start to go bad. Unai becomes a bad sportsman. Um, he goes into the tunnel without shaking the other or the opposing manager. Yeah, boy. So Mchita, we know this is him, fit because we know him. Yeah, boy. But then also, Brad, he has players like Abu Sancho, he has Harvey Elliott, he has all those players, bruh, in like Coutinho, but he doesn't use them. Yeah, boy. He doesn't. He plays the same players every week and expects different results. Yeah, boy. Yeah, Ukamara and Tilleman are actually like a big loss for him because remember when they were on form, those two were starting as the two pivots or the double pivot, yeah, boy, in the midfield with the Rogers up front or 4-3 with Umekin also as a number 8, yeah, boy. I guess those are big losses for him. But yeah, a coach supposed to come up with a plan. The coach is supposed to have a backup plan. Yeah, bo. If things don't work out, go to plan B. If plan B doesn't work out, go to
Mhm.
plan C. Yeah, bo. And he hasn't been able to do that at all. Yeah, bo. And I feel like that just exposes what type of coach that Unai Emery is yeah, bo. Um, I don't think the Villa fans will be happy if they slip out of the top six. And I think if they do slip out of the top six, I think we might see the end of Unai Emery at Villa Park. Yeah, bo.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's say
Now I agree. I was
what
gonna say as
what do
well.
you what do you
Yeah.
what do you make fit of Unai Emery not using Harvey Elliott? Because then like, do you think it was his signing or the sporting director signing, if they even have one?
Nah, it was if you look at that deal, it was just them trying to get a body in, and I guess Harvey Elliott is Premier League proven, yeah, boy. I guess good quality for Villa, but now if they play him for more games, and I'm sure Una Imi thinks he's a good player for my team, but I can't play him. Ogan is being told you can't play this guy for so many games because then you have to make him permanent. You understand? So I feel like
Yeah,
it's he's caught between a rock and a hard place with that deal because it's a if he plays X amount of games, then it becomes mandatory. So because it doesn't make sense that you don't play him, let's say in the Premier League and also in Europe, yeah, but because now you're watching how many times he
yeah,
plays. Otherwise, they're gonna have to pay like a huge fee. I don't know how much. They maybe think I just under 25 or 30 million pounds. I don't know, but for Villa, that's a lot
mm,
for Villa, and where they are with PSR and the financial woes. So they're watching that as well. They're watching that as well.
yeah,
But
mm,
I feel like that's also what hit them a bit a lot this season. But obviously there's that, but also performances on the pitch as well. But yeah, there's so many good players in Aston Villa actually, Brad. Now that I think about it, like McGinn, good. Yeah, well, Morgan Rogers, good. I'm not gonna Tillemans, Kamara, and Konza. Who else? Matty
they
Cash.
still
There's
have
just good
Julian
players.
Bailey as well.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I was gonna yeah, now I remember now. But you said this as well, big dog. When you start playing Buendia, I'm also gonna add Leon Bailey. When you play those guys, ne, that's when you know. That's when you know, but yeah, nah, Ebo, that's when you know. But yeah, well, yeah, we're playing with our I wouldn't say scraps, but that's when you know, my dog. Yeah, well, so like yeah, I don't know. Una is caught in a rock and a hard place with certain players and the
Yeah,
PSR woes, yeah, bro. Yeah, let's go to Chelsea, bro, because Chelsea also in the period that we were not
mm,
recording, they sacked Enzo Maresca and they hired Liam Rosinha. Like, bro, like there's certain things I don't understand, bro, ne? But that one is like, why, bro? Like, I know maybe there was reason to sack Maresca because in the Premier League wasn't necessarily doing that well. Yeah, well, because also he was just like this as well. But they were hiring Liam Rosina, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know how you can do that as a big club like Chelsea. But what? We're not like it's a black coach. Yeah, shout out, you know. But like, it just doesn't make sense, bro. But how did you feel about that?
I didn't get the hiring of William Rosina at Chelsea. Yeah, as you said, yeah, it's a big W for black coaches to get a chance in the Premier League at a big top six club for change. Yeah, well. But the guy, before he went to Strasbourg, he was Wayne Rooney's assistant at Derby County. Um, then I think after that he went to France, to Strasbourg. You know? Yeah,
We
Umchita
went
was
to
managing.
Hull, yeah.
Yeah, how? And then, but he ended up in Strasbourg. You know? But I understand Umchita, when he was at a small team, no expectations at Strasbourg, like respectfully. Um, I feel like Chelsea, ne? Sorry, they hired Unansi Urosina because they saw those clips on Twitter and TikTok of Lim Rosina giving Unansi team talks in the changing rooms and seeing the vibe in the changing rooms, players listening to him piano and whatnot. But now he comes to the Premier League at a top six club where he's expected to win every single game. He's expected to compete for Champions League spots, um, especially after the amount of money that Chelsea spent with transfer window. Um, so for me, it was a bad decision from Blue Cove to like a very bad decision, one that can actually backfire on Chelsea. Unchita is clearly out of his depth. Unchita is drowning in the job. He doesn't know where he has it. For example, he gave Ukanacho a note to pass around his team when his team in the Champions League was already losing 8-2, 8-3 in the I mean 8-2 on aggregate, and the game was almost over anyway. And he still has time to write notes and pass around the team, which doesn't make sense. He says the players are forming a huddle around the ball because to show respect to the ball. Like, wow, fair to like what is that fair? What is that? if I know if this was said by a certain coach in the red side of North London, your Sky Sports would have been, your traditional media, your legacy media, they would have been having a ball out there. Yabo. But yeah, since they're even calling him the Premier League Obama, William Rosine, so
Nah,
so Chida, man, like
but
you see, he needs to, I don't know, man, he needs to leave, dog. End of the season, he back to the underground. He needs to go to the championship or something, like, and do something, because as a Chelsea coach, as a top six
like
coach, it's horrible.
yeah, I don't know, man. With Chelsea, like I'll say this, ne? Like it just you give this guy also like such a long contract. I think it's 6 years the contract, bruh. Like I don't understand, bruh. Maybe 2 years would have been fine, and then you have an option to extend and stuff based off what he does, yeah, bro. But I feel like for him, just to defend him, yeah, bro. Obviously, I think if like it's inevitable that he gets fired, yeah, bro. But I feel like for him, like he needs time as well. But I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem. I feel like even Cole Palmer doesn't. When I just look at Cole Palmer's body language and like just like his on-field antics, it just doesn't seem like to believe in this manager. And I feel like a lot of players they just don't believe in the manager, yeah, bro. But Chelsea, ne, their project, like they've got such good young players. But I feel like, dog, it would be so not saying lose your this project of young players, but bring in some experience, bro. Because just speaking on the football side and on the pitch, it's so clear that Chelsea like need leaders, bro. Like, and they need
Mm.
stability. Like you can't have Malang Sarr, bro, or is it Malang Sarr and Chalobah starting against PSG, bro, in the biggest game of your season. It just doesn't make sense.
Those are PSL,
You can't have that.
those are PSL defenders, bro.
Nah, I like Chaluba, but I feel like Chaluba needs he needs guidance as well, yeah. But like it's just like they've got such like with Chelsea, like we said this at the start of the season as well, that Chelsea attackingly they can go and toe to toe with any team, yeah, bro. And on their day, which is on their day, they can like go and score those goals, ne? The question with Chelsea is always defensively, like because bruh, like you watch Chelsea they conceding goals against Burnley in the last minute. They conceding goals against Newcastle that are very very comical. It just always seem like they're going to concede a goal, Brian. And that goes down to just preparation for me, and just also not having as many leaders as they think they do. Yeah, but Reece James, that's a good leader, but there needs to be more. Enzo Fernandez, ne? They must stop like Enzo Fernandez. I don't know, bro. Like I don't really see this guy's like I don't really see like the hype around him. Maybe they like next year they'll show him, but I haven't seen like a super good season from him. And Caicedo as well. People are really quiet now about Caicedo versus Declan Rice. Yeah, well, it's very convenient that they're quiet now about this
Mm.
because like the player has just kind of lost himself. I'm not saying it's a bad player, but I feel like when you have these conversations about who's better than who, remember that it's a full season, right? And not just a couple of
Yeah,
games. Because my biggest beef with Chelsea is that Chelsea Chelsea fans ne, always think they have the best players until it's time to have the best players. That's what I'll leave
yeah,
Chelsea with. Gabo. That's what I'll leave Chelsea with. Let's go to relegation, dog, before we wrap it up because it is getting quite late. Um,
yeah,
yeah, boy. So let's just. I know we spoke about it. I feel. Let me just go there. I'm not gonna mention Wolves and Burnley, but I'm just gonna go to. It's West Ham who are 18th. I feel like it's Nottingham Forest 17th, and Spurs 16th, and Leeds 15th as well. So there, dog. Who do you
yeah.
think is gonna get relegated there? Who do you think joins the other two in the underground?
Um, I honestly, yo, now Spurs, they're going straight to the underground. I don't see
Okay,
where they're
dog.
gonna get the next 3 points. I understand that with West Ham, Nottingham Forest, but those teams they're actually like picking up form. Like yeah, Nottingham Forest they've only had 3 points in the last 5 games, which they've thrown they've threw the past two games. West Ham is the one of the last two games they've played. But the way things are going on, the way things are going for Spurs, bruh, like yeah. That team is getting relegated. Fit. They're going to the underground, dog. I don't see where the next win is gonna come from. Fit. Look at Lawi. The last 5 games, four defeats in a row, and then the last game they played now was a draw. Yeah, bro, which was against Liverpool. Even that was they were
But
supposed to lose that game as well. Yeah, bro, and they would have had like
but
this. They would have had 29 points as well, same as West Ham and Nottingham Forest. So honestly, if you to like, I would love it. I would love it if they get relegated. Dog. Imagine we win the league, Spurs get relegated. That means
yo,
next season, or in the first game of the season, we're celebrating Saint Tottenham's Day, fit, yeah, boy. So now, I honestly think they're gonna go down, fit. Besides, I'm
yeah.
taking off Arsenal cap, but I think they're gonna go down.
Look, dog. I think whoever loses between, I think West Ham are gonna stay up, ne? And I would love for West Ham and Nuno to stay up, yeah, boy. But I think for me, ne, I'll answer you to say whoever loses in this game between Nottingham Forest and Tottenham, whoever loses on Sunday is going down. That's what I'll say. Whoever loses on Sunday is going down. That's what I'll say. Whoever whoever
But
loses
like
that,
I said, fit, like
that
this team is Spurs, dog. Like I don't know, man. Like you can't tell a team, bruh. Like it's pathetic, fit. Like, and every time they get a new manager, they all say the same thing with press conference. They always have that one press conference where
yeah.
they start to realize, but yeah, no, this team is way too Spursy, fit. The culture in this team, there's no will to win. The team, they satisfied with just making up numbers in the European sports. They are equal away, but okay. Since last season, do you know what went wrong when they were celebrating after Son missed it 1-on-1 against Man City 2 seasons ago, where we were supposed to win the league. That was things started going down from there. Now Joe the underground is waiting for them. Yeah, well. So yeah, I feel too. Like I hope they go down because they don't deserve to stay in this league, bro.
Yeah, big dog. I'll say three things, ne? Just on before we wrap it up. One, Spurs, ne? If it, yeah, I don't know. Like they drew against Liverpool and they beat Atletico Madrid on the yesterday, but um yeah, well, basically that game was basically done already, yeah, but it's a bit of confidence for them. But this game on Sunday is the one. West Ham, I think Nuno Bryce is gonna pick up some very important points, yeah, bo. And I know
Mm.
that Mr. Marinakis, the owner of Nottingham Forest, regrets even firing Nuno because he's basically had three managers now, yeah, bo. What a
Yeah,
wow, bro! Three managers in one season. That's Chipper United level, bro. That's Marisburg
yeah.
United level, yeah, bro. But and Royal
Mm.
AM level. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see who goes down, my G, yeah, bro. But I feel like my
Mm.
dog, we've spoken long enough. I think we must wrap it up there. I know you just want to rest and don't want to make the episode too long. I like just firstly just to say thank you to the people for watching. There's more games on the weekend. There's even a final between Arsenal and City. But let me ask you, yeah, how many trophies are you gonna win this season? I'm not gonna ask you about the winner, but how many trophies? Because you're in all the competitions still.
Arsenal, realistically,
Yeah, just give me
I, I think we're gonna win two.
okay, two.
Realistically,
Yeah, I think
I
two
don't
as
I,
well.
I don't see
I
us
think
winning more than two.
yeah, I think two, and I feel like yeah, two. I won't say more. But let's wrap it up there, big dog. Let's thank the people for watching the show. We're back bringing you content again from our hiatus. Let's wrap it up there, my big dog. Guys, also just like the video on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much. Peace.
Salute.
Wish I be leaning, I tell ya. Wish I be leaning, I told it's all. Wish I be leaning, I told them. Bitch, I mean, yeah, bitch, I be